I want to get into a couple of interesting things. I posted this on the website. It's about your Christmas trees. And they contain wire-like fibers. And our holiday trees that are being brought into our house are making people sick. So here's a little about that. The overhead weather modification technology spray aerosols, dumping heavy metals on all trees and shrubs and everything else, including us and our pets and everything else. And the trees absorb the metals from the roots and die. Millions of trees and plants are dying all over the world. Just talking about that. And a Canadian herbalist advisory on the larva synthetic life that came off of a Christmas tree that a Canadian family brought into their home. So here's what's said. A young family informed him, this Canadian herbalist, that they cut down a tree and brought it indoors, and the whole family immediately got sick. They are sure it was from the tree. Does this mean no more real trees because of the falling of the sky? It's falling out of the sky? Are they genetically engineering trees with some sort of nanogenetics? Yes, they are. So Alana Freeland sent this information to me because I sent her some information that I had found about how they're finding microplastics in the snow. And they're saying that this is no doubt a large part because the snow is being chemically nucleated via polymer fibers being delivered by jets and zapped by RF and microwaves. So this is a response to the Canadian herbalist, and the microplastics are the least of the issues with the snow. The larva synthetic life that we see, the bugs that come out of the snow and into our homes here in Canada, now that is something to make you raise an eyebrow. And when you kill them and pop them with a burning laser and see wires and nanotubes hanging out of their abdomens, now that's another story altogether. Okay, this is a simple $7 magnifying glass and light. It won't hurt you. And this is what we came across when we went to one of Clifford Carnicom's seminars a number of years ago. And you just turn it on and the light will go on. I have extra batteries here, so if the light doesn't go on for you, you can ask me about batteries, or ask Lou about the batteries, but it's going on. So what you want to do is hold it on your hand, adjust the top toggle, and look through the magnifying glass with it directly on your skin. Now you can move it around, okay? And what you're going to see are the polymers in your bodies. Now don't be afraid, we all have them, without exception. So if you see these opalescent shiny strands, your neighbor has them too. So do your children, your grandchildren, your pets, your vegetables. The one thing I couldn't find them on was glass and the bumper of my car, but they're in everything. This is how we are being biologically changed. And we'll talk to Alana more about that, but I wanted to get this around now so that you'll have an opportunity to see this for yourselves. So I'm just going to hand it to someone. If you've had a chance to see this, pass it along, please, so that everyone can see this before we get Alana on. And again, move it around on your hand, or on the back side of your hand, and hold it tight against your skin, and you will see opalescent lines. Yeah. Don't be frightened. You're not dead.
Not yet.
You're alive. But we all have them. And this is what 5G is all about, and the increased frequencies. This is a transformation.
So are they all over
So,
your body?
so they're everywhere, all over your body, everywhere. So I wanted to talk about what is going on with 5G and what the Illuminati is saying the purpose of 5G is. Now, we can hypothesize what we think it is, and there are lots of emails and lots of information all over the web about 5G, and of course when we were in Europe we met Mark Steele. Many of you may have watched 5G Apocalypse, and at the beginning of that I describe how your eyes will cook in World War II because of the frequencies. Because when I went on the IEEE website, that's what it said. The phased array antennas will cook your eyes, but not to worry. They cook your brains too.
Good.
Not just your eyes. So I want to actually read to you what the Illuminati tell you is happening with 5G. And this is not just what you're going to read on the news, and I also do have it in my 5-part video YouTube series. This represents the 5-part video YouTube series that I have up on stopthecrime.net. I have 2 binders. There are a lot of PowerPoint slides in here. It took a tremendous amount of work. But I'm going to talk to you about what the 5G is about in the words of the Illuminati. This is important, okay? Because we keep going in a circle with conversations. Oh, it's bad for you. We've got to stop it. We've got to go to the city councils. We've got to tell them to stop it. They have no jurisdiction. In fact, did you know that the current CEO of USA Inc. signed a broadband executive order for fast-tracking 5G across this country to every single farmhouse everywhere? Did you know that? Did you know that he also signed an executive order for artificial intelligence? We got to beat China. We're in a race with China. No. So here it is. This is the RFID chip in the New World Order, and 5G and the secret features. The 5G network is the foundation needed to handle all the data in high speed. 5G in combination with powerful space probe networks will handle all this data in high speed. 5G and the space probes will become a breakthrough in the mass surveillance of all people, and a breakthrough in the mind control and mass manipulation of people. The RFID chip implant will become a standard in the New World Order era. Those who reject it will not be able to buy or sell without this RFID chip. Now I'm going to pause here for a minute because many of you are very much aware of our new driver's license, telling us if we don't get it, we can't fly unless you have a passport, you can't go into federal buildings. But this RFID chip is going to show how you vote because they want to make sure you're voting for your demise. Okay, they need your consent. They need to trick you, trick us. So people all around the world will be desperate to have the RFID chip. In fact, it'll be trendy and cool and a must-have, and it will also be required by employers and businesses. The radio frequency identification uses electromagnetic fields. The RFID chip implant is injected under the skin, and in the New World Order era, the RFID chip will be necessary to survive. If you don't have it, you will not get goods and services. It's the same thing that we're seeing right now with the social credit score in China. If you don't maintain a certain credit score, you're not able to travel to certain locations. You can't go into certain restaurants. In fact, for those of you who have not watched Black Mirror, I would recommend that you watch the first episode of Black Mirror about social credit scores. Social credit scores are here right now in this country. There's not a place that we go that it is not asking us to rate them. You may be noticing this too. The post office wants to be rated. Staples wants to be rated. Our plumber wanted to be rated. A real estate person I know wanted to be rated. And they want to be rated between 1 and 5. 5 is good. I went to the Sonoma County tax collector in their offices. They want to be rated. Everybody wants to be rated because it will be essential to have a high score, or you will not eat. You will not have a house. And if you think the Joe Rodota Trail with all the homelessness, it's going to be all over this county. That's the plan. The low-hanging fruit. Low credit scores. You can't get an apartment. You can't rent an apartment. If you go through the standard management company, unless you have a certain credit score, they're not even going to give you a place to live. I have targeted individuals that have money but are on government watch lists. So whenever they apply for an apartment, they're told they can't have an apartment. So they're living in their cars. This is happening all over the world. So going on, the RFID chip has the following features. With the chip, you'll be able to buy or sell. You can connect the RFID chip with various electronic devices. Have any of you heard about the new smart apartments? I have a friend who's dying of cancer right now who lives in a smart apartment, completely wireless. You can go anywhere in that apartment and operate everything. And it's a death zone of frequencies. And she's dying right now. She's dying right now. So with the RFID chip and proper electronic device, you'll have access to your bank account, so will they. And on the RFID chip, it'll have all your vital information, so they'll just know exactly how to target you, because they'll know what's wrong with you. And it'll be your virtual wallet. The New World Order will have a one world currency. And your personal identification will be on this, your driver's license. You can use the RFID chip to interact with your smartphone and various appliances and applications, and you can use the chip to unlock your doors. Many people are doing that already. I know with these wireless key fobs, we're unlocking our car doors right now. So look at the simplicity of having this chip embedded into your hand or in your forehead, and how operating will become so much easier. The RFID chip has GPS built in and will be able to use and track your location and activities all the time. Well, we already are tracked. When you've got your cell phones in your car, you're tracked. You're tracked. The RFID chip will remotely know all about your health status and your mood status. And it'll be able to remotely influence your health status and your mood status. Remotely make you deaf so that you don't hear anything. Make you deaf. And remotely make you dumb so you won't speak anything. Total control. Remotely monitor and record everything you see. Have any of you noticed the little floaties in your eyes? Okay. Talk about that more with Alana. Remotely monitor and record everything you hear. Remotely monitor and record everything you speak. Everything. Store it on the beast, in the beast, for your social credit score. Okay. It will be able to remotely wipe out and manipulate your memories. This is very common with targeted individuals as they are set up for assassins. That's why I recommended the Aquarius operations briefing. Very important to understand that a lot of the shootings that we're seeing happening across this country and elsewhere are remotely controlled assassins. Okay, so remotely make you feel pain on selected parts of your body, which many people are feeling because the frequencies in and of itself, even without being chipped, can hit your pain receptors. And people are now experiencing far more discomfort, aches and pains unusual to their typical experience of life. So that's why it's important not to have your cell phones anywhere in your home, not to have a smart meter. We're lucky we can opt out here. Do not have a smart meter. Don't get anything wireless in your house. Turning off your cell phone won't help you, and we'll talk about that in a moment or two. The RFID chip will secretly be sending all the data to you to the one world government. It will also influence your behavior, your feelings, and your decisions. This is why it's important for us to stay connected as a group and touch in and know who's who and how we're doing. Because if we hear somebody that's starting to sell their home, dump their bank account, we might want to think twice about what's going on. Have they been given that drug from South America that makes you do what you do without questioning it? You've heard about that powder. I can't think of the name right now, but it's a powder in South America. They just blow it in your face.
Devil's breath, scopolamine.
Scopolamine, thank you. They just blow it in your face, and it can make you do anything. They have had people move out all their belongings and believe that, and their neighbors would see the moving trucks come in, move their house out, and the person would wave, everything's fine. They did not know, because that's some of the effects of some of the drugs. Did you know that recently the BBC announced what's going on with Tylenol? And this is a big one. This is a huge one. What we know with the autism community is the lack of reciprocal feelings of concern or care. You have to have the lack of reciprocal concern or care to push these buttons on us in this world. And did you know that Tylenol is in part responsible for people having numbed reciprocal feelings? We're popping these things like candy. Tylenol, not recommended. It dumbs your reciprocal sense and feelings. All of us here in this room, we have feelings. We can feel what's going on. You can connect to the people here because you have feelings. We need feelings. That's what's going to keep us alive. That's what's going to keep us doing the next best right thing all the time. And connecting and understanding that we're in something that none of us bartered for. I didn't grow up thinking I'd ever be standing here sharing all this stuff with you guys. Ever, never. So the RFID chip can also monitor absolutely everything about you and the area around you. It will remotely be able to make you suffer, and it can kill you. And the best part is that the majority of the people will be desperate to have the RFID chip because they won't know about some of the secret features mentioned here. The RFID chip will change your life. Your life will never be the same again. Now, this is right out of the Illuminati's words. This is not the professors that are educated and that are understanding that the frequencies are deadly. They are. We've had military documents for millennium telling us all about the effects of wireless technology on our bodies. In the NASA War document, they refer to a document that I have up on stopthecrime.net under the Resource Document tab, that they've known about all of this. It's no new news. In fact, the military is completely controlled by the secret societies. Did you know that? The military, every branch of everything is controlled. The police department, sheriff departments, fire departments. Now, I am not saying that there's not good people working at these places. They need a paycheck, they work hard, they don't have the time to understand what's going on, but a lot is going on. And sadly, a lot of the paychecks that people are getting is really our demise, is really our demise. So again, you can take a look at this on stopthecrime.net in that 5-part video YouTube series. There's so much more, of course, I could tell you, but again, it's going to be mightily illegal to live outside the city growth boundaries and to live in the Wildlands Project. And after we take a short break, we'll get Alana up. We'll talk to Alana about polymers.